Juniper.
Hi, Juniper. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, ma'am.
She says no.
Meow, meow. La, la. Oh, yeah. Dance it up. Dance it up, girl. Dance it up. Dance it up, girl. Dance it up. She's the best cat. Oh, my God.
I know, she really is. She's just so easygoing.
Standby please, electric sound, wardrobe, wig, stage management, stage crew, flies and all technical departments.
Welcome to Leave the Ghost Light On.
Hello and welcome to Leave the Ghost Light On.
Woo!
I am Jill Horn, and with me is the absolutely gorgeous Danica.
Go on. Go on.
You beautiful, stunning lady.
Oh, go on.
Oh, man. How are you doing today?
I'm a little sick, so I've got my my crew sweat tea. It's a cup that says crew sweat for people that are listening and not watching. Yeah, it's actually a tea from my favorite place that makes like their own teas, called, oh my God, I just forgot. High Garden tea in
Ooh.
Nashville, Tennessee. I get it shipped to me like whenever I
Nashville.
run out. And
Nice.
so this proprietary blend that I'm drinking right now is literally called Sing. It has like marshmallow root and all kinds of cool stuff. It's delicious, and it's the only thing that I ever want when I'm sick. So yeah. So apologies if I sound a little bit froggy or a little bit congested, because I totally am. But we're gonna chug along through because we're women and that's what we do.
Hell yeah! I think you sound beautiful. What is the crew sweat thing? No, sweet chariot.
This is from, if I remember correctly, I got this at USITT along with two other mugs from a company called Ninja.
Yes.
Which, shout out Ninja, y'all are amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. I got this mug that says crew sweat, and I have one that says the blood of bad designers, and I have one that says actor tears.
Oh, I like that one. The blood of bad designers. That one's pretty good. So
yes, I'm a big fan.
I
and
feel
they
like
also make the black on black t-shirts for crews that say you can't see me.
Yeah. I like those. So that's what our Cirque shirts are, is they're black on black.
I love that. I love that.
Well, since we're continuing to introduce mugs, I'll introduce mine because I got two new ones today.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got my Moulin Rouge mug.
Ooh.
My water mug. This is also the shirt that I wore at work today.
Oh yeah.
And then for when I start feeling a little bit spicy, my Jack and Coke is in my Hadestown cup.
Oh yes.
Yeah, my Hadestown cup is the metal, what is that, tinkered, that says anybody want a drink.
I love that. I should get one of those.
I know, this one's my favorite one. So I love this thing. I think I got it when we went and saw it. So
probably.
Absolutely worth it. So yeah.
So what's new with you before we dive in?
Oh man. I was trying to think about it. I don't think there's a ton of stuff that's new with me, except for, so last week I was super excited. I got to actually like do some prop stuff at work. So we have this insanely creepy mannequin dude that hangs from the ceiling at the beginning of the show. Like he like doesn't have a face. He like kind of looks like that guy from Pan's Labyrinth. Like the hand guy.
I love that.
I hate that thing.
I love it.
It gave me nightmares when I was a child. Or not, I was probably a teenager when I saw that movie. A child nonetheless. But no, it hangs at the very beginning, and basically there's a like super thin thing of like airplane wire or tie line or something that goes across it, and basically like all of his little fingies got cut off one night. They set it up just like slightly too wrong or something like that, and so it flew across and all of his fingers fell off.
It happens to the best of us.
Right? I really liked it because the way that I found out about it, because I'm not on the show crew, so I don't find out until the next day the stuff that we have to repair. But one of my coworkers, Margot, who is a big Harry Potter fan, took a picture of one of the fingers that they found because they basically had to find them all, and it was like, all that was left was a finger.
Incredible.
Whatever that quote is from Harry Potter.
That's incredible.
Yeah, but no, it was a lot of fun because like we found almost all the fingers, so I just had to like stick a wire through them and redo them in there and fiberglass them. But then his thumb, I had to like completely rebuild. so yeah, like carving his thumb out of foam and doing that with fiberglass and then painting it. So I don't know, it was fun. We don't get to do a lot of that kind of stuff all the time. So yeah, so whenever it comes around, I'm like, give it to me.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's fun.
So yeah, but yeah, that's my theatery thing. That was probably the most exciting thing that happened to me all week. So making a man's hand. Oh man, what's new with you?
Well, we closed my show this week, The Great Beyond. So we had our last show on Sunday. My mom and my aunt and my husband all saw it on Saturday. They saw the companion show on Friday, The Ghost of Splinter Cove, and that one actually is still running this coming weekend.
Okay.
But they all said they liked it, so that was nice.
Of course they did. You're in it.
And I had more of my students came, and my friends Cliff and Lauren came on Saturday too, and my friend Shelby came on Sunday, and yeah, it was lovely. And Josh came again on Sunday, and yeah, it was really great.
That's awesome. That's fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss those folks. It's cool.
Yeah, no, that'll be good. But like school is over, right? Like school's closed.
Oh yeah, school's been over, thank God, since beginning of May, kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just working on stuff for going to Prague in a week.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're going in a week. That's absolutely crazy.
Oh God, I can't either. So, I really can't.
Yeah, I'm also really looking forward to us trying to stockpile as many episodes as we can so that you don't have to record while you're there, but we can still release them. Yeah. It makes me really excited because my coworkers found out about this today and they all got real excited. So
okay. Hi, coworkers.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. It's Gary, Driscoll, and Damon. Hi, guys. But yeah, they're super awesome. Gary's like loves this kind of stuff, like listens to paranormal podcasts, and Driscoll's sees ghosts all the time. Anyway, I'll have to tell him to tell a story at some point.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God, please. Ooh, well, speaking of our stuff, I guess shall we get into it?
Yeah, let's.
My first story is I've got the tragedy this week.
Woo, so you get to go first.
It's this is a wild ride, so strap in.
Yeah, okay, I'm excited.
All right. So I'm bringing us to London's shortest lived theater, the Royal Brunswick in Shadwell.
The shortest lived.
Oh my God. Shadwell, where the Royal Brunswick was located, is in the neighborhood, which is, I'm probably going to get some shit about this. We'll find out. Basically Whitechapel in area of London. First trivia question. What is Whitechapel most well known for, or most infamous for, I guess?
You said this is in London?
Yeah. Whitechapel, neighborhood of London.
Oh gosh, I was about to say Manchester United, but that's wrong because that's Manchester.
That would be Manchester. Yep, different part of the
country. Yeah, I know. I was like, that's not right. I'm trying to think of what.
Think true crime.
Oh, true crime. Oh, Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I went straight to soccer, but I guess because I've
been watching.
I've been watching Ted Lasso lately.
Oh,
which takes place over in England. So I've been thinking about like all them, but no, that's right. Jack the Ripper.
Sports ball or whatever. Okay.
Sports ball. Go team, go sports.
Also where Jekyll and Hyde takes place. But where the Brunswick is located really close to what is now Wilton's Music Hall at Cable Street and Ensign Street. This is really cool because so a majority of my sources are actually from a weekly journal titled All the Year Round. And the article itself is called Last of Old Stories Retold, The Accident at the Brunswick Theater. So written by Charles Dickens.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
this is incredible. So of course, all of the things that he wrote, everything is beautifully written and eloquent and lovely. And yes, and much more so than I could ever be. So I will be pulling directly from what he wrote because it's going to make me sound smart, and I like that. So
nice.
But of course, I do have other sources, and everything's going to be in show notes. So a little bit of the history of the building itself. The site of the Royal Brunswick was constructed on what was formerly the Royalty Theatre, which was opened in 1787, which had burned down in 1826. And suspected to be the culprit of that was none other than our good friend gaslighting. Not properly being extinguished because gaslight. So the Royal Brunswick was designed by architect Stedman Whitwell, who is, he's mostly forgotten now, but remembered mostly for an unrealized design for a secular communal utopia that was to be built in New Harmony, Indiana. Yeah. It's what it sounds like. The foundation stone of the Royal Brunswick was laid in August 1827, and the new Royal Brunswick Theatre opened some 7 months later on the 25th of February, 1828, with a production. Yeah, 1828.
That's old. Okay.
Oh, yeah. With a production of The Mermaid. Oh, my God. Let's try that again. This is a hard word. No one would use this. The Mermaidens Well.
Okay.
The Mermaidens.
The Mermaidens.
Yeah, not the mermaid. The
Why not just mermaids?
Well,
because they're unmarried.
I guess.
No, wait. Maiden is
right?
married. Never mind. Because they're married mermaids.
Keep that. But what's great is this show. I couldn't find anything else about this show in particular, except that it is fittingly subtitled "The Fatal Prophecy."
Oh no! If it
What?
Sorry. I got really excited to say something, but I was still in the middle of swallowing my drink, so I just coughed. You're choking because you're sick. I'm choking because I'm dumb. So.
Okay, so the theater had accommodation for some 2,000 people in its lavish auditorium, which consisted of a pit, 2 circles of boxes, and a huge gallery. The times of May the 9th, 1787, when it was first built, so it was actually recreated really close to this, reported on the beauty of the decorations of the new theater, saying that exquisite taste is displayed.
Ooh.
Fucking damn it. Hold on.
Whiskey and tea? Absolutely.
Yep. Hot toddy, baby.
Oh, yeah, that is a hot toddy. I think that's my dad's favorite drink. It's one of them, at least. So
it's delicious. Can't complain. So here's a little bit more about how pretty it was. The pillars which support the upper tier of boxes are not within any of the architectural orders, but of the fancy kind. Enriched. It's truffles. I tried to even look what that is.
Trefoils?
No. It's literally, it looks like truffles with one F. I don't know. Anyway,
interesting.
Maybe let's cut
also,
that. Yeah,
trefoils are a type of Girl Scout cookie, so I don't know.
So maybe it's not that.
I mean, they could have been named for like their shape. I don't know.
Let's see. The middle pillars partake of the composite order, and the pillars of the lower tier incline to the Doric. Over each box there is an entablature on which trophies are painted. The ceiling of the theater is highly finished. There are 4 spandrel panels with ornaments in chiaroscuro. Trivia. What is chiaroscuro? Chiaroscuro. Oh my God. I know how to say this, and now it's chiaroscuro.
Ooh.
Yes. There you go.
Very fancy. I can't even guess. I have no freaking idea.
Okay. So it is a composition. Usually it's talking about painting when there's really high contrast between light and dark.
Oh,
That's really
okay.
all it means. Chiaroscuro.
I didn't know that. That's a beautiful accent. Good job.
Oh, thank you. In the center, a sky with a border of oaken leaves, and the whole is bordered by a. This is another great word that I was like, honestly, what the fuck is that? By a galofs.
Wow.
Galofs. I looked up several iterations of what that could possibly be. I don't know, 19th century. They're just making up words. I don't know.
Yeah, it sure sounds like it. I mean,
but
that
yeah,
was
there's like a lot of like colorful language to describe what it was.
Yeah, they were like, you know what? We're making a whole bunch of new art. We're just gonna make up words for it.
Sure.
So
you do you.
Yeah, and it's great because we don't use any of them now. So
yeah, no, it's great. It's fine. So let's dive into where things started to go wrong.
Oh my gosh.
Whiskey for confidence.
Yeah. Hot daddy for a hot body.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you. Okay. Where things started to go wrong. So there are 3 main folks that are involved in this story that I'll be talking about a lot. One of them, and they usually only refer to them as with their last names. So I already talked about the architect who was whatever his name was. I already lost it.
You're fine.
Oh, Stedman Whitwell. There you go.
Stedman Whitwell.
And then, so Mr. Whitwell, or just Whitwell. And then there's Mr. Maurice, who was one of the proprietors, so like one of the backers giving money to open the theater. And Mr. Shaw, who was the carpenter, basically. So the following is quoted directly from the Charles Dickens Journal. From the first opening of the Brunswick Theater, a vague sense of danger had filled the minds of everyone connected with it, except the proprietors, who were too eager for profits to listen to anything that might cause delay. God, where have I heard that before?
I know. You know, I have a feeling that when it comes to these tragedies, we're going to see a nice little, there's
going to be a pattern emerging,
There's going to be a pattern. Absolutely.
I think maybe. And then there's a Mr. Pulsford, employed to survey and measure the work of the smiths, carpenters, and bricklayers, had repeatedly, even from the beginning of January, warned Mr. Maurice, one of the most active of the proprietors, of the insecurity of the roof and of the danger of suspending heavy weights from the iron ties or cord bars. End quote.
I feel like I can already guess what's going to happen.
No way. I bet you cannot. It's going to come out of left field. Anyway. So this play,
you got picked up by a herd of birds.
That's right. Oh my God, how'd you guess that? So the Mermaiden's Well opened on Monday, February 25th of 1828. The first incident came on Tuesday, February 26th. Before the curtain rose that night, the scene drapes had appeared to stop functioning. So the carpenter, Mr. Shaw, and the architect, Mr. Whitwell, went up to the fly to see if they could solve the problem. They noted that one of the iron straps of the roof had dropped onto the groove, which is like the fly rail. So they would need to prop up the plank to prevent it from drooping back onto the groove, so they could still move the scene drapes in and out.
Yeah.
Shaw gave orders to another guy to do it, who presumably did it, and they went on their merry way. Whitwell ran into Maurice, the proprietor, and warned him of this danger and advised that he have it checked out the next morning. Maurice, it's unclear if this was that day or the next day, but Maurice read out a letter from the contractors of the roof, which said it would bear any dead weight if it was perfectly steady. So naturally, what do you think they did? That's right. They added approximately a ton more benches. Benches, scenery, you name it. Here's your next trivia question.
You're so smart.
How many pounds are in a ton?
Oh shit. I literally was doing research today and I almost wrote that down.
What?
1,200?
I'll give you the kilograms to pounds conversion because that is weird because
Yeah, that's
we're
not gonna help.
American and we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So there are 2,240 pounds in 1 ton. So they effectively added 2,000 more pounds
Jeez.
of bullshit to.
Also, I wasn't too far off. I said 1,200.
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. That does equal 907 kilograms, by the way, if you're anywhere else in the world besides stupid America.
Yeah, besides America, where we make up our stuff.
We'll use anything but the metric system.
Mm-hmm. I do love
Amazing.
them. I love those posts where you find stuff.
Oh, yeah.
About how people measure things.
240 hippos. Yep, that'll work.
That's what they did at zoos during COVID. It was like, keep yourself one gazelle apart from each other.
Because everyone knows what that means.
Right. Just say 5 feet or 6 feet. Sorry.
So on top of that, there were 8 men in the painter shop and 40 men in the carpenter shop, which of course were both attached to the roof because reasons.
Lovely.
To his credit, Whitwell warned of the danger of this vibrating weight, people walking around, moving around. And naturally, Maurice answered, this is a direct quote again. Maurice answered, "We know what we are about, Mr. Whitwell. We don't proceed without advice. We have written to Bristol and have got permission to hang as much weight to the roof as we like, provided it be a steady weight." And it's like, yeah, dude, we're saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. Moving equals bad for structure of roof.
Like, yeah, if nothing's moving on it, then maybe it's fine. It's gonna be moving though. People are gonna be walking around. You're gonna be oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like all of these tragedies and disasters are gonna be just people being dumb. So oh Lord. Oh mighty.
History truly only repeats itself. So on Wednesday, February 27th, now 2 days after that first opening show, it was noted that the flies had sunk as the roof had warped. Shaw, the carpenter, was told to get supporters or beams for the flies. Shaw said there was no danger, quote, but it should be done.
Oh my gosh.
Because he knows. When another one of the proprietors, Mr. Carruthers, went to check on the progress, he found that Shaw and his men had knocked off and gone to Vauxhall, which at that time was known as the Pleasure Gardens, which is really just like an entertainment district.
Okay.
Thursday morning, February 28th, Carruthers meets with Shaw to condemn him for this, for knocking off early. But Shaw assures him that it's normal for people to take off early on Wednesday and Fridays during Lent, which it was.
Oh, okay. So they're like, we're religious.
On top of that, if there had indeed been any danger, Shaw's wife wouldn't have been upstairs stitching canvas as she was. So everything's fine. Yeah. So there had been, again, we're now in Thursday morning, February 28th of 1828. There had been a rehearsal called that morning. The stage manager, again, Mr. Farron was, I don't know his first name. Mr. Farron was on stage with the actors, including, and again, we only have last names, Goldsmith, Vaughn, Wyman, Campbell, Dillon, Lynch, and Saker. There are a few others, but those are the only names that I could find directly.
Yeah.
The proprietors, Maurice and Carruthers, were in their respective box seats, ready to watch the rehearsal. At approximately 11:35 a.m., a slight crash of timbers was heard above, but was disregarded. Another similar sound came thereafter, but was ignored because there were still workers and carps in the building working overhead.
So they were like,
they're just dropping shit. Whatever.
Fine. Hard hats weren't invented yet. It's fine. Nobody needs a hard hat. So.
All right. Following is more directly quoted from Dickens. The next moment, Mr. Farron, looking up to see where the noise came from, saw the chandelier in the act of falling. Obeying the momentary instinct, he threw himself under shelter and clung to a pillar of the proscenium. Mr. Maurice rushed to the center of the stage. The roof came down. An avalanche of iron instantly tore walls and gallery down with it and swept before it scenes, stage, boxes, and actors. It was a tornado of girders, bricks, and timbers. A cloud of dust hid the scene of death for a moment.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That one guy who was like, I'm going to the proscenium is like, all right, he would have done fine.
Get ready.
Tornado. Oh, no. Okay, I was going to say he would have been great in tornadoes in the South.
Get ready.
So.
Oh my God.
Oh,
okay.
No. Oh, gosh.
Farron, the stage manager, had managed to escape by clinging to a pillar below one of the boxes. So, like, right next to that proscenium.
Mm-hmm.
He then helped a 12-year-old girl, Miss Yates, who was actually the daughter of Mrs. Vaughn, who was one of those actors I mentioned before, of the company. And I found out later, Mrs. Vaughn actually was called to the rehearsal that day, but she didn't show up. Why was her daughter there? Who knows?
I was like, why is she? He was like, come on, honey. It was the 1800s. Who gives a crap?
She should be working by now. Come on, she's 12.
Maybe she was.
I don't know.
So maybe
anyway, so this poor little 12-year-old girl, he helps this girl out of the rubble, and though she was injured, they both survived. Mr. Maurice, that proprietor, almost escaped, but he had darted to the extreme line of the falling fragments when, quote, a torrent of bricks struck him obliquely on the head, beat him into the pavement, and buried him, all but 1 foot, which Mr. Campbell, one of the performers, recognized. His body was instantly dug out. It was lying with the head towards the theater and was on its stomach. The watch in the pocket was still going. The corpse was first identified by the handkerchief in the coat.
Ooh.
Yeah. Shaw and his wife, so the carpenter, the guy who built this actual theater, and his wife, who again was upstairs working stitching, were both working above the stage. They managed to survive after being hit below the stage by a large plank. He was able to release them both, and he carried his wife up a staircase and then used a rope to lower her into the street out of a window, and then he followed.
Wow.
So they both survived.
Okay.
Carruthers did also survive, that other proprietor, though his legs had been crushed by the debris.
Ooh.
And was extracted after what I can only imagine is an excruciating hour and a half.
Ouch. Okay.
An editor of the Bristol Mercury and Observer, Mr. Evans, was conversing with Maurice just before the incident, was struck by a beam to the forehead. A carpenter, Letter, also struck by a beam, was found dead, jammed against the staircase, a hammer still clenched in his right hand.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most gruesome and tragic deaths was of Mary Ann Fearon, a little girl who was one of the ballet leaders, who was, this is warning, this is rough.
Okay.
Was crushed and her head almost severed in two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
A doorkeeper named Penfold was crushed on the steps attempting to escape. An older man named Levi was outside reading a playbill on an opposite wall and was crushed by the falling ruins. Wasn't even inside.
He was just enjoying his little playbill.
So in all, 13 people died and 20 more were injured.
Wow. And they were all gruesome deaths.
During a performance, it is estimated that nearly 3,000 could have been killed.
Jeez.
So the fact that it was only 13 is monumental.
Yeah, because they would have piled everyone into that theater for sure. So, my.
And like Monday night, they had a sold out house. So they're very lucky that it didn't come down during a performance.
Yeah, like I said, everybody's death was like super gruesome and awful.
Oh, it's bad. I mean, just bleh.
Yeah.
There was an inquest held, of course. The architect was anxious to show that he had been warned and that he had warned the proprietors. The surviving proprietor, who was Carruthers, because of course Maurice was. The surviving proprietor was desirous to prove that he had never been properly warned. The builders tried to convince the jury that they had built the place firmly and well. The contradictions, again, this is all now quoted from Dickens. The contradictions were sometimes palpable, as when Mr. Whitwell declared that he had never been warned of the danger, whereas he himself actually gave in evidence that he had been up in the flies on the Monday night to examine the cause of their sinking.
That's why we have a paper trail, ladies and gentlemen.
Open foot, insert mouth. Open mouth, insert foot. Wait.
Yeah.
Open foot. Wait. There's something wrong with my brain right now. This illness is affecting my brain. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. That was a great. That one's. I'm keeping that.
Thanks. So let's see. Mr. Carruthers, too, was, of course, so nervously anxious about the flies that he had ordered them to be propped and yet had no surveyor to advise him as to the safety of the roof. And the eventual verdict was accidental death by the fall of the roof of the Brunswick Theater, which was occasioned in consequence of hanging heavy weights thereto, and the jury are of opinion that the proprietors are highly reprehensible in allowing such weight to be so attached. So, Carruthers and Whitwell were fined 40 shillings, or that equals £2 each, which in today's money
I was about to
is...
ask.
And take a guess.
Would you say it was
pounds?
£2 in 18 what?
28.
1828.
Do pounds and then dollars, because I'll give you both.
Okay, I'm guessing that it's not going to be enough, so I'm going to say like 400 pounds, and I don't know what the conversion rate is from pounds to dollars, so I'm going to say $1,000.
So much less.
I knew it. I was like, they're not going to get charged enough.
Again,
like, it's not going to hurt enough.
Reprehensible is the correct word. It amounts to today £272 and 53 shillings, or in US dollars, $346.33.
Oh my gosh.
For
that
the
doesn't
loss
even
of
make a
13
dent.
lives.
They're like, I don't care. To be fair, some of the research of stuff that I've done where when theaters get fined, it's never enough. So
Oh no.
It's never enough to make a difference. It's enough to make them go like, oopsies, we've been caught, but not enough to make them like, not enough to make them actually feel it. So,
which leads me to my next little bullet point, which is, so naturally, what does one do when you are fined for something and you've created a horrible tragedy? You fuck off to America, like Stedman Whitwell did.
Oh my gosh. I like to be in America. Everything free in America.
Don't pay no fee in America. God damn it.
Isn't there a line, if you're a white in America? So
yeah. Bing bong. Yep.
What a good show. West Side Story, everybody.
So, of course, today there are unfortunately no plaques or commemorative markers for the people that were lost that day. And in the theater's place stands a row of residential properties. The only evidence of the tragedy is a small row of bollards, which are basically just little small cast iron posts, each marked with RBT.
Wow.
Royal Bitch Theater. No. Royal Brunswick Theater.
Royal Bitch Theater.
Resting Bitch Theater. No.
If we ever start a theater, can we call it that?
The Resting Bitch Theater? Yeah. Yep, ready. Okay, I have the last piece of theater trivia for you.
Okay.
So,
I failed at everything so far.
This was not the deadliest theater collapse in history. Do you have any idea where or when or what the actual deadliest theater collapse in history could have been?
Shoot, I think it's on our list.
Ooh, is it?
I think so, because I feel like I wrote it down. Oh, shit. I don't know. I'm doing really bad at all of the trivia today. China.
If it's in ancient Italy, then you're right.
Oh, yeah, that's close enough.
Geography! So, the actual answer is the Findine Amphitheater in Italy in 27 AD.
Okay, I take it back. That's not on our list.
I was like, I don't.
I take it back.
I don't. Okay. So yes, this was a wooden amphitheater which collapsed in 27 AD. It held 50,000 people.
Holy.
And of course, there's not like real records of like how many people died, but it's an estimated 20,000 people died.
What were 50,000 people doing in one place back then?
Theater. When the arts mattered.
I guess so. Yeah, that
Just
is
kidding.
true.
It was actually a gladiatorial fight.
Okay, that's what I figured.
No, really. I looked this up.
Yeah.
They had been outlawed for a while, and then the emperor at the time was like, let's like just for a second, everybody was like, fuck yeah! And then
bring it back. Isn't that like the whole thing of Gladiator. Didn't Gladiator take place in Rome? Oh my gosh.
Goodness me.
Huh?
Well, there you go. That is the horrible story of the Royal Brunswick Theatre
Oh my
in
gosh.
London in
Wait.
1828.
Okay, wait. So you said that it was the shortest lived theater.
Oh,
So
yes,
yeah, from
because
start to end, how long was it actually up and
it
running?
opened on Monday,
Oh no.
it collapsed on Thursday.
As soon as you said it opened on Monday, I was like, "Oh, we don't even have numbers. It's not like
Yes,
1
yes.
week." Like
Monday, February 25th of 1828 to Thursday, February 28th of 1828. Yes,
Oh my
London's shortest
god.
lived theatre.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a short one. That's a little
Mhm.
that's a little short.
So
Oh.
yeah, it's upsetting.
Oh
Mhm.
my gosh.
Goodness.
Ridiculous. That was, as
Whew.
always, very entertaining and educational, but also very sad.
Yeah. Mhm, mhm.
So, the
Theater
person
tragedies, everyone.
theater tragedies.
I
I'm
love
not gonna lie, the person that I feel the most sad about is the person who is just sitting outside just enjoying their little playbill.
right?
Like, that one is the
This
one that I'm
fucking
like, "You
dude
weren't
is
even
just like,
a part of it."
"Tra-la-la, squish."
Oh, man. Maybe he went fast or
I
whatever.
fucking hope so,
He's just
man.
happily, reading his little playbill about all the people he would never see.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
Oh, man. Well,
he's so
very good
sweet.
story. Very good
Well,
job.
thanks.
That's our
Thanks.
first one that took us out of the US, right?
Oh, shit. Woo.
Yeah. Um, well, cool.
Just goes to show you tragedy can happen
It
anywhere.
can happen anywhere, not just the United States.
We've got plenty, but we'll
We
share.
really no, we really do.
Tell to me a story now.
Okay, I shall tell you a story. So mine is obviously the ghost story. I do have some woo, I do have some bits of tragedy in there.
Oh,
But
twofer.
a little bit of a twofer, but it's more of like a curse that's associated with this place. Twofer.
Get it? Twofer. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Go on.
No, you're fine. I love it. Where did you say that your tea is from?
It is from Nashville.
It's from Nashville. Well,
Is your
today
story in Nashville?
so today we're heading back to Broadway. Just kidding. We're going to the Broadway
Wait.
in Nashville,
Oh,
Tennessee.
shit.
Mhm. So for all of those who don't know, there is a very famous street in downtown Nashville that's also called Broadway.
I did not know that actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's where all of like the super like iconic like honky tonk bars are, and
Oh.
the place where you can buy your multi-$100 cowboy boots and hats and stuff like
Oh,
that. Yeah,
okay.
if you looked up a picture of Nashville, it's gonna be Broadway.
It's that. Oh, that's cool.
Mhm. Yeah, because Nashville's known for its country music and all of that kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
they actually now apparently they call it Nash Vegas.
Ugh.
Yeah,
It makes me
try.
wanna go there a lot less, I'll tell you
I
that
know.
much.
That's so. Really quick side note. So my sister lives in Nashville, and
I'm so
so
sorry.
I know. Well, it's actually it's a lot better than Memphis. Let's be honest.
Oh, shoot.
But what's funny is flying from Vegas to Nashville, it's like you literally are just flying with bachelorette parties the entire time.
Oh, god, that sounds horrible.
Yeah, every single flight, there's always
Ugh.
gonna be, like, drunk woo girls, like,
Ugh.
it's ridiculous. Because Nashville is where a lot of people go for bachelorette parties, Vegas is a place where people go to bachelorette parties, and
Nope.
anyway.
Nope. Hard pass.
Anyway, Nashville's honestly not that bad. It's kind
Yeah.
of a cool place. Like, since my sister lives there, I've kinda gotten to know it a little bit better. But we're
Yeah.
not talking about the, like, cool parts that you and I might like. We're talking about the touristy spot
Oh,
of
boy.
downtown Nashville on Broadway.
Hmm.
So, the theater that I'm gonna be talking about is the Ryman Auditorium, which is right
Hmm.
off of Broadway, or as more people might know it, is the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize it had more than one name. Look at that.
Does.
Okay.
So, the Ryman Auditorium, because that's what it's known as now, so that's what I'm gonna call it, was built in 1892 by a riverboat captain, Thomas Green Ryman.
Why does that make so much sense?
I know, right? So a quick little history on Thomas Ryman. He was a 44-year-old Nashville businessman and the owner of a riverboat company. The Cumberland River runs right through Nashville, so business was very good. I don't know what it is about riverboats and Tennessee and all that kind of stuff, but they are freaking everywhere. And you can go take lots of tours on them. And also, I didn't do a deep dive on it, but riverboats were associated with slavery. So we're not going to, we're not going to go into that. But that's essentially where they.
And I can tell you all about yellow fever and let's not get into that. That's more tragedy.
Yeah, but either way, so riverboats in Tennessee are just kind of like they go hand in hand. So it kind of makes sense like it's going to be a thriving business. So for the most part, Thomas Ryman had a very rowdy lifestyle because he was fairly wealthy. His riverboat company allowed him to buy saloons and have side businesses where he profited selling alcohol, people gambling, and unsavory behavior.
So. Ooh, sexy time.
I know. I was like, unsavory behavior. What do you think that means?
Yeah, it
means
sex
that
work.
Tennessee doesn't want to say what it is because they're religious.
Like what? What else would it fucking? You already mentioned all the bad shit. Like,
I know, right? What? He had a whorehouse. Let's be honest.
Woo, yeah.
Woo, party time.
Woo.
So all of this unsavory business caught the attention of Reverend Sam Jones, who came into town and set up a tent revival.
Oh, God.
I was going to say, that was my trivia question. Do you know what a tent revival is?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. So a tent revival, also known as just like a tent meeting, is a gathering of Christian worshipers in a tent for evangelism, healing crusades, and revival meetings, aka it's basically like a church on wheels.
There is a really, really good and really fucked up play called Tent Meeting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Maybe someday I'll produce it, but I don't think anyone would come see it because it's really fucked up.
I'm not gonna lie, before doing this research, I'd never heard of a tent revival before.
Really?
So, but I mean
I've lived in North Carolina for a long time, so maybe that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and like I lived
in Houston. Yeah.
Yeah. So but anyway, so the Reverend Sam Jones set up a tent revival. And the Reverend's sermon was apparently so good that it drew crowds of thousands of people. And he was there for Thomas.
I wasn't saying that to be cute. That's just how I reacted.
No. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. So Thomas and a group of his friends decided to go and kind of see what was up. And apparently he was so moved by the Reverend's sermon that he decided to use his wealth to build a place of worship so that they would never have to meet in a tent again.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it took him 7 years and $100,000 to build the Union Gospel Tabernacle. So $10,000 in what did I say? 1892.
92? $100,000?
Yeah, $100,000.
$3 million.
Ooh, not bad. 3.5.
Oh, fuck!
Not bad at all. We're gonna get so good at money conversion.
That was completely straight out of my ass.
No, that was really good. Like I said, I feel like we're gonna get better at it. So with every single time.
You say that, but I don't trust me with numbers. So
yeah, we'll see. Well, as soon as you start throwing pounds into it.
Oh, no, I don't blame you for that. No, that's on me.
Right? So he built what was known as the Union Gospel Tabernacle. And this is a quote from Thomas. He declared, "I believe for every dollar spent in the tabernacle, there will be $10 less spent in the future on court trials. This tabernacle is the best investment the city of Nashville has ever made."
Amen.
Amen indeed. Huh?
This whiskey is whiskey.
Fuck yeah, it is.
Whoa.
I know. You're feeling good, girl.
I certainly don't feel sick right now, I'll tell you that much.
Good. No, that's good. Like I said, it's weird, but like I feel like whiskey kind of works sometimes.
Mhm.
So whatever makes you feel better.
That's why you give it to babies. Wait.
Hey, I definitely had whiskey rubbed on my gums.
Oh yeah, for teething and stuff. Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm from the South, and if it wasn't whiskey, it was 100% Coca-Cola. So one or the other.
Oh yeah, no, we went whiskey because my dad's German.
Okay. Yeah, we did Coca-Cola because my grandma liked to feed us sugar. So
So poised.
we get so much better the more we drink.
I know. Oh my god. Clearly.
Okay.
It's a different show.
Huh?
That's a different show.
Bam,
Us telling stories while we're fucking plastered. Drunk
Okay.
theater history?
Huh?
Drunk theater history?
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Mhm.
That could be whenever we get popular enough to do Patreon. That could be our Patreon.
Oh my god. I'm in. Hey everybody, yes. When we get super popular, we're gonna do a Patreon where it's just us telling each other stories while we're hammered.
Actually, that would be so much fun.
That sounds
I
great.
would pay for us to
Halfway
do
there.
Oh my
Fund
god.
my binge drinking.
I know, right? We're fine. Everything is fine. Okay.
I declare.
I do declare.
I do declare.
Mhm.
What?
So, the tabernacle was not just a place for worship and religious events. It was also a place for education, events, and entertainment.
Oh.
So they had the May Music Festival with Theodore Thomas Orchestra there in 1892, which is when it opened. And the Fisk Jubilee Singers made their debut there, and Booker T.
Oh
Washington.
my god, the Fisk Jubilee Singers?
Yeah, okay. I was
Who were
hoping you were
they?
gonna know who that was. I was like, I don't.
No, I have no idea.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I was like, God damn, I thought I had some good ass information.
I'm such an asshole.
I kind of love it though. No, this is amazing. Well, you know what? You know who else gave a speech there? Booker T. Washington. You know
Okay,
who
that's
he is.
actually a name I legitimately do know.
No, it's fine. So sometimes with a lot of these names, I don't necessarily know them because I'm not huge with country and Tennessee
Oh
and the
god,
South,
no.
even though I
No.
grew up there.
Nope.
So other people might know these names. I might not. Anyway, back to the history. I can't do that stuff. Anyway, okay. So Ryman died in 1904, and it was actually the Reverend Sam Jones who suggested that the tabernacle be renamed to the Ryman Auditorium.
Oh.
So, although it was supposed to be a religious building, they began leasing it out to different organizations, whether they were religious or not, to pay off their debts.
Because capitalism.
Exactly.
Yep.
So the first event to sell out was a lecture by Helen Keller in 1913.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, which
Wow.
for a second I was like, how did Helen Keller give a lecture? But she had Anne
Translators.
Sullivan there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had Anne Sullivan there, which is her teacher. But yeah, that was the first one to sell out in 1913.
That's so cool.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, and then Lula Naff started working for the Ryman in 1904, so soon after Thomas Ryman died. In 1904, booking events like boxing matches and concerts. And then in 1914, she made it her full-time job.
Ooh.
And she eventually took over the Ryman in the 1920s.
A woman? A lady?
A woman. Yeah, and she went by L.C. Naff, so to avoid sexism while booking clients.
We all are very aware. Yep.
Mhm.
Still, some people fucking do that. Hi, I've done that.
I know, right? Yeah.
There's a lot of times where I have signed things just DJ
Mhm.
because
It's just easier sometimes.
sexism.
I know. So some of the famous people that she was able to book for the auditorium over the years were Harry Houdini, W.C. Fields, Will Rogers, Charlie Chaplin,
Oh my god.
Bob Hope, and Doris Day.
Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, no wonder it got so much notoriety. Holy shit.
I know, right? Yeah, she did some good stuff. And it
Yeah.
also hosted lectures by Teddy Roosevelt, who was the 26th president, and William Taft, who was the 27th president.
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah,
Damn.
she did some really good stuff. So NAF gained a reputation for battling local censorship groups who basically threatened to ban different performances because they deemed them too risque. So in
Like what?
1939, I know, right? In 1939, NAF won a landmark lawsuit against the Nashville Board of Censors,
Well,
who was planning to arrest the star of the play Tobacco Road due to its provocative nature.
oh, for fuck's sake.
I know. This is the 1930s, so in Tennessee, in the South, of all
Yeah.
places. So, eventually, the court declared the law creating the censors to be invalid, and they did away with them. So, they were like, "This is
Suck a
ridiculous."
dick.
I know, right? And they were like, "This is dumb. Get out of here."
I love that.
So it was around 1930 that the Ryman really started to take off as the musical venue it's known today. So I know that we usually do theaters, but this is more of like a musical venue, but it's
It's
still
valid.
theater in its own
Yep.
right. Um, so it hosted people like Little Jimmy Dickens, Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, Elvis, Louis Armstrong, Patsy Cline, and Minnie Earl. So
I know most of those.
Yeah, I actually know most of those, but it
Mhm.
was nicknamed the Carnegie Hall of the South.
Oh.
Mhm. So what really put them on the map is when the Grand Ole Opry came to the Ryman in 1943.
Hmm.
So now, as a Tennessean, I'm from Tennessee, everybody. I don't know if I've actually properly said that. I thought the Grand Ole Opry was a place. Turns out it's actually a radio show, and it was originally
Oh.
broadcasted from the WSM studio, but when they began attracting crowds who wanted to see it live, they had to move.
Holy shit. No, I had no idea.
Yeah, me neither. I thought it was just a place, and it's like, no, it's a
Yeah.
show. So it would
Oh my
be, yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Huh.
Uh, Fun fact, apparently they tried to move to the War Memorial Auditorium, but were kicked out because the crowds were too rowdy. Oh, man.
Boobs.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
boobs.
So eventually it moved to the Ryman, and it was given the nickname the Mother Church of Country Music.
Oh lordy.
Mhm. So eventually in 1963, WSM purchased the Ryman Auditorium and renamed it the Grand Ole Opry House.
Okay.
So the building was not meant to be a venue of this
Oh.
sort.
Mhm.
So it had essentially no backstage, no wings, two dressing rooms, and
Oh.
quote, less than adequate women's restrooms.
I'm shocked at that last part.
I know, right? So many performers often ventured out into the alley bars on Broadway, which is where they drank alongside patrons and sometimes performed. And that essentially is what made the honky tonk bars on Broadway in Nashville become popular. Because you could basically
Ooh.
go there and see, somebody who had just performed at the Grand Ole Opry performing in a
That's so
bar.
cool. I love that.
Yeah, isn't it? So, like, yeah, kind of like it was kind of like almost like an industry street
I
a little
love
bit.
that.
Obviously now it's a bit more popular, but yeah, that's what
Yeah.
made it more popular. So, eventually, the Opry decided it was time to move to a proper venue and continue to grow, which it did, and they broke ground on another venue, which would eventually become called Opryland, USA in 1974. That's what I know of when I actually think of the Grand Ole
Hmm.
Opry. So,
Oh.
mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so the last Opry show was in the Ryman in 1974.
Hmm.
So then the original building went back to being called the Ryman Auditorium. But sadly, after the Opry left, the building kind of fell into disrepair, and it was almost impossible to get any bookings there because everybody wanted to go to the Opryland,
Oh,
which is
okay.
which is
Yeah.
fair.
Mhm.
They talked about demoing the building over the next 10 years, but it mostly just kind of like exchanged hands in
Mm.
random deals and afterthoughts, and they just kind of kept it around for a little bit.
Hmm.
So, at some point, the building alongside Opryland USA was sold for a measly $250 million to an Oklahoma-based operating company. All right, so after it was sold to the, like I said, the Oklahoma-based radio operating company, It still saw little to no performers, but was actually used more as, like, a location for filming, and some
Oh.
of the most famous ones were Coal Miner's Daughter, which had Loretta Lynn in it, and if
Oh.
you're from the South, you know who that is.
Mhm.
Sweet Dreams with Patsy Cline, and
Ooh.
Clint Eastwood's Honky Tonk Man.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Nice.
So in 1989, Opryland USA began to restore the building, and in 1993, they decided it was time to start on renovations that would turn the Ryman into a world-class concert hall. And this including adding air conditioning, which the
Mhm.
building never had,
Ugh.
refurbishing the old pews, which is something that the Ryman's fairly famous about, is that they have pews, not seats, which makes sense from it
Oh.
being, a
Oh,
tabernacle and
yeah. Mhm.
everything. But yeah, they refurbished the original pews. They also built a backstage area, a lobby with restrooms, concessions, and a grand staircase.
There we go.
Mhm. The first performance at the newly renovated Ryman was a broadcast of Garrison Keller's "A Prairie Home
Oh my
Companion."
god,
Yeah?
yes! Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I was like,
Big
"You're
fan.
not fucking with
No,
me
no,
this
I'm
time?"
not fucking with you, no, I
Okay.
literally I used to listen to that on oh, yeah, no, every
Okay.
single was it Saturdays? It was Saturdays. Mhm.
Okay, good. That makes me feel better.
Mhm.
Garrison Keillor's "A Prairie Home Companion" on June 4th,
Woo!
1994. And people and performers then slowly started to return to the Ryman. The Ryman also served as a primary venue for the Opry in 2010, which I remember when this happened. In 2010, when the Grand Ole Opry House was undergoing repairs when it flooded. So there was a really, really big
Oh.
storm in 2010 that I like remember living through because my
Ooh.
sister was in Nashville during the time.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, so the Opry House was like out for a while.
Eee.
Yeah. So we're getting closer, we're getting done with history a little bit, but in 2015, the Ryman underwent a $15 million renovation and expansion and now has over 2,300 seats.
Damn.
Yeah, the Opry continued to return to the Ryman annually for its November, December, and January shows until 2020.
Hmm.
And in recent years, the Ryman has hosted the Wu-Tang Clan,
Oh, shit.
Bob Dylan,
Hmm.
Ringo Starr, Harry Styles, and Lizzo.
Oh, shit. Cool.
And then it also, Yay South, hosted its first headlining drag queens, Trixie and Katya.
Oh my god! Trixie Mattel?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yes! Fuck yes!
I know, when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I gotta add that in. Good for you, Tennessee."
Yes!
So and then the venue also hosted its first comedian residency in
Oh.
August of 2022, John Mulaney.
Aw.
Mhm.
We do love me some John.
Yeah, he's a good one. I like
Mhm.
him a lot.
Yeah, he is a good one.
On May 26th in 2022, the Ryman officially became a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame landmark. And
Woo!
then really quick, and then I'll get on to the ghosties.
Mhm.
We can't talk about the Ryman and the Grand Ole Opry, which at least mentioning Tennessee's best celebrity, Miss Dolly Parton.
Woo!
Tennessee loves Dolly Parton.
Yes, as you fucking should.
For any of those who somehow don't know who Dolly Parton is, she is a very
Shame
famous
on you.
yeah, she's a very famous Southern country singer and songwriter with over 11 Grammys under her belt.
Oh, shit, I didn't realize
Mm,
that.
yeah,
Damn, yes, girl.
I know, right? Some of her most famous songs are 9 to 5 and Jolene, Jolene, Jolene,
And of
Jolene.
course, she also wrote I Will Always Love You.
Good job. That was my next point. You
Boom.
jerk.
I'm
You're so
a
smart. Yeah.
smarty.
Yeah, no, that's literally what my next point was. One of her most famous songs that she didn't sing, but she wrote was I Will Always Love You.
Hell yeah, girl.
Yeah, so she first performed at the Ryman in 1959 when she was only 13, and it was in
Fuck.
front of 4,000 people.
Oh my god.
After that, she would perform for the next 7 years on the Old Porter Wagner Show, and
Mhm.
became a member of the Ryman in 1969. And she returned in 2015 for the opening of the Ryman and often has like her birthday party anniversaries there.
So cool.
So I have a quick quote from Ms. Dolly Parton herself. She says, "As a kid in the Smoky Mountains, I used to stand on the porch and sing in a tin can with a tobacco stick stuck down in the porch thinking I was at the Grand Ole Opry. It's kind of like that song, New York, New York. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. And the Grand Ole Opry was my dream.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh.
All right,
If
so
you
now
don't love Dolly, then fuck you very
yeah,
much.
there's something wrong with you. She's done a lot of great stuff for Tennessee. She's like, there's so many different scholarships and
Education,
foundations and
yeah. Oh my
philanthropy,
god.
like all kinds of stuff. She's one of the
She's
few
an
celebrities
absolute
that's like
queen.
really doing some stuff. All right, so that is the history of the Ryman or the Grand Ole Opry. So now it is time for why we are all here, which is the ghosts.
Spooky oogie times.
Oogie oogie time. So there is something called the Opry curse.
Oh.
So the curse is a legend that's been around since the 1960s, which basically was like a lot of people who performed there died. Which,
Ooh.
in fact, it was 37 people died from overdoses, car accidents, fires, and murders.
What the what?
Yeah, so it's called the Opry curse. So
Jesus.
I'm gonna tell you about a couple of them.
Oh.
So the biggest disaster or the biggest part of the curse is there were 5 different Opry performers that died in March of 1963.
Whoa.
Mhm. So the first one is Patsy Cline on March 5th, 1963. A small private plane that she was traveling on while returning to Nashville crashed in a heavy downpour with limited visibility near Camden, Tennessee, which is 90 miles away from Nashville. And in this plane crash were also fellow Opry stars Halshack Hawkins and Cowboy Copas.
So
So,
it's like the $1 Million Quartet type of thing where it's like
kind of.
all these famous
Mhm.
people all in
Yeah.
one plane all just fucking croak at one time. Fuck.
Yeah, now all 3 of them died in the same plane crash, which is still awful, but either way. On March 8th, 1963, Jack Anglin veered off New Due West Avenue down a ditch 12 foot deep into a tree in Madison, Tennessee.
Ooh.
Mhm. And then on March 29th, 1963, all of these are within March, Texas Ruby Fox died in a fire that broke out in her home in Nashville. And she was currently playing at the Opry.
Oh my
Mhm.
god. Ugh.
So then so those are the 5 that all took place within the same year, within the same month, but another one was on July 31st, 1964. Jim Reeves was flying out of Nashville in a 2-seater plane with his manager, and with Reeves at the wheel, they hit turbulent weather, and it was assumed that from the reports that he lost control of his aircraft, flew too low, the plane stalled, went into a tailspin, and crashed nose first. And both
Oh,
men were killed on impact.
oh my god.
And then I've got 2 more.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay.
On June 20th, 1965, Ira Levine died when a drunk driver struck his car.
Oof.
And then on November 10th, 1973, String Bean Ackman and his wife were shot and killed by burglars in their home in Nashville.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so again, Opry curse. At first when I read that, I was like, "Oh, whatever, like, people died, it happens." But I was
Oh.
like, "Oh, that's a lot."
Ooh, that's rough.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Alright, so that's the curse. Now we're gonna get to the actual ghosts, which
Yarr.
one of the more famous ghosts is Thomas Ryman himself. So contrary to his wishes, the space began to be used for plays and live music that had nothing to do with religion. And
Oops.
so because of this, Ryman decided it was time to make his presence known when he's upset.
Oh, he's salty.
Mhm. Ryman's spirit was fine with most performances, but would rise if people on stage began to get too risque.
Mm, mm.
Apparently, he would disrupt shows by stomping around the room so loudly that spectators were forced to leave.
What? What a
Mhm.
dick.
Famously, Thomas wreaked havoc while the opera Carmen was taking place, and the opera is about a fiery gypsy that's
Yeah.
seducing a helpless soldier,
What?
and he's
He's
not
a
a fan.
he's a douche.
Mhm. So there are a couple of ghosts. The other ghost is the Gray Man, which is believed to be a Confederate soldier who frequents the auditorium during post-war gatherings. Some say they've witnessed him sitting in the balcony while artists and performers rehearse, and he watches the stage, but will disappear as soon as anybody gets close. And this one I
Ooh.
could actually find some like personal accounts of it, which was
Ooh.
exactly just that, where people were like, "Oh, he was there, and then he was gone as soon as you get close."
Oh, I love that.
So, the other ghost that's also there is called the Lady, which on the other hand isn't a spectator, but she's actually a performer, which is believed to be the ghost of Patsy Cline herself. She
Oh.
has been heard singing by staff, and usually her performances happen late at night as they prepare to close.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah,
like that.
cute. So, and then the most famous ghost in the Ryman or the Grand Ole Opry is Hank Williams.
Oh.
So, Hank Williams was a successful songwriter, singer, and he passed away in 1953 after mixing prescription drugs with alcohol.
You know, hear it all
Such
the time.
such a good guy. He was also banned from the Ryman for being drunk and bailing on shows. So,
Oh, whoops.
I know. It was great. So, Hank's voice has been heard clear as day by employees, and they have also heard his songs being played on stage without any explanation.
Hmm.
As one story goes, Bill Anderson was rehearsing for an Opry show when he started strumming a tune on his guitar, a song that just so happened to be a favorite of Hank's. But Anderson began playing the song, and suddenly the building went completely dark from the sound, the lights, and even the emergency exit signs.
Ooh. Oh, uh-oh.
And they could never find out what was why they did this
Ooh.
whole power outage, because,
Yikes.
exit signs should not go out no matter
Nope,
what.
never.
Yeah, that's a big
That's
deal.
the point of them.
Mhm. And then in a similar thing, a man named Gary Gentry was performing The Ride for a TV show at the Grand Ole Opry, and The Ride is about Hank Williams himself, basically like showing a performer how to get to Nashville. Like his ghost is showing him how to
Ah.
get to Nashville. So Gary was performing, and when he got to the last line in the last verse, where he finally reveals that the ghost is Hank Williams, all of the lights and the power went out again.
Oh, shit!
Mhm.
That's pretty cool.
Right? I think that's kind of fun. According to one legend, a construction worker was this is so weird. A construction worker was accidentally locked inside the building during renovations in the 1990s and came face to face with Hank Williams himself.
Oh,
And I'm like, how did you
so
lock yourself in the building?
yeah, what?
And then the other one is still others believe that they have seen the spirit of Hank Williams himself hanging out in the alleyway between the Ryman and Tootsie's Orchid Lounge. This was where Hank would frequent and would perform there after being at the Ryman.
Huh.
hmm Fun fact, the Ryman does offer ghost tours, so they fully embrace
Oh,
all of this.
cool.
Yeah, so they
That's
fully
fun.
embrace all of the ghost tours. You can take one of those ghost tours downtown where they'll bring you to the Ryman, aka the old Opry, the Grand Ole Opry, and all that fun stuff. So
I like that. We should do that.
yeah, we should. I mean, I'll be in Nashville probably in a couple of months. So yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, that is the story of the Ryman and the Grand Ole Opry.
Yay!
Yay.
Good job.
Thank
That's a good
you.
one. That's
Yeah.
good. It's not a downer.
No, not a downer at all. I mean, all the deaths of
Well,
all the
yeah.
celebrities, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you feeling?
I feel like it's time for bed.
I know, you poor lady. Well, it's all right. So, well, that's okay. I'm glad that you were able to do this with me. So,
Yeah, me too. No,
yeah,
it's always fun. It's definitely the thing to look forward to. So
exactly. So, hopefully the next recording we're both in a beautiful fit bill of health.
great.
Yeah, we'll see. Well,
We did great. That was an
we did
excellent day.
so good. I'm gonna
Nailed
do it
it.
like next time. And break. Until next time, don't forget to leave the ghost light on. Thank you for joining us. Leave the Ghost Light On was created, hosted, and edited by Danica Jackson and Jill Horn.
Musical composition created by Jay Nygaard.
Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, and more.